You know, you know, you know, I was thinking this day would be the day to define the fact that Canada has made some historic leaps in Cup history. That would be a good day, and then something awful just happened, particularly in Venezuela. And yeah, there was an earthquake in Venezuela, and man, like so yeah, the magnitude was around 7.2 to 7.5, and it affected much of Venezuela, specifically, like, particularly the capital, Caracas, was heavily hit by this. But yeah, and yeah, and it's caused widespread damage across the country. Yeah, earthquakes are no joke. They're very incredibly scary. They're incredibly scary. Just so happens to happen at 6 o'clock in Venezuela, and yeah, Caracas, Venezuela, right now, midnight. It's around the evening, just before sunset in Venezuela. Hello, Trinity O'Connor. This is really shocking. This is really shocking. Why is it so shocking? Well, because, like, you look at, like, photographs of Venezuela, it looks like a fucking war zone. It looks like the fucking apocalypse. Yeah, it's evening for me. I mean, the twilight's still there. I mean, it's perpetual twilight. So, I mean, we live pretty. We live north enough to the point where astronomical twilight just doesn't go away. So it's relatively night. Yeah. 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 Number of casualties is currently unknown, but there's a probability that the death toll could exceed 100,000. Yeah. Like, like you look at this, like it is fucking scary. Earthquakes are no jokes. I've experienced like two earthquakes. The first earthquake I've truly experienced was in Japan. And I remember, although I don't have the footage of that earthquake for myself, when I was in Japan and when I. Hey, Blake Roki. Yeah, when I was in Japan, when I arrived to Japan, and then I slept, and then the morning after or the afternoon after I wake up, a bit after I wake up, I felt the earthquake in Japan. That was like May 2023. And in January 2025, when I was in Mexico, I've experienced a weaker earthquake, but it's enough to be noticed. it is enough to be noticed. But like this is pretty terrifying. Even then, it's like La Guerra is like one of the worst affected places out there, and like you can see like deadly earthquakes. List of deadly earthquakes since 1900. Uh-huh. List of earthquakes, deadliest earthquakes. It has the potential to be in the list of deadliest earthquakes. Blake Rookie. Okay. Sorry that I butchered your name. I apologize for that. But yeah. In 2023, there was that earthquake in Turkey and Syria. And that was a pretty brutal one, actually. Like, the damage is just unprecedented there. There were like even grounds like breaking apart in that earthquake. And of course, soil liquefaction. It's another thing you gotta watch out for is soil liquefaction. Like, yeah. And if you remember in Haiti, there was an earthquake that killed up to like 160,000 people. And in 2011, there was that earthquake in Japan that was amongst one of the strongest recorded. But yeah, the Haiti earthquake was very, very brutal. And, you know, it just feels almost as if it's like the. Almost as if it's like the repeat of the Haiti earthquake, just this time in Venezuela. If the tornado killed all the person. Oh, bro, if the tornado killed all the person. Yeah. Man. If I remember correctly, like the United States was like capturing the former leader of Venezuela, Maduro, and yeah, well, he was leader at the time before like Maduro was captured, and yeah. And yeah, Venezuela has been in shambles for a while, and it hasn't really rebuilt itself. Like, Venezuela is a country with one of the worst crime rates out there. Funny thing is, you know, back in the 90s, people would flee Colombia for Venezuela, and then nowadays people would flee Venezuela for Colombia. And I mean, Venezuela, from what I heard back in the mid 20th century, used to be an economic hotspot or something like that. But corruption just makes corruption of Venezuela just makes it so getting resources was hard. It suffered hyperinflation. Like, I have a shit ton of Venezuelan banknotes. I have a shit ton. of banknotes from Venezuela. But yeah, there's this one video, and you look at it here. They sent me this video from my Quetta airport. My God. Just imagine if I was in this building, like, holy shit.
Hermano, no, fuera más peligroso, hermano. Por allá, señores, al puerta 4.
He's looking for his brother. I think that's what he says. I know a little bit of Spanish. Yeah, I say it before. I'm only going to focus on 2 of the languages I'm learning, Japanese and Spanish. And Venezuela is a Spanish-speaking nation. Yeah. You know, Canada makes history by actually advancing into the knockout stage in the World Cup. And Bosnia and Herzegovina actually advanced to the knockout stage too, despite being in 3rd place, which is insane. Leaving Qatar out to be eliminated. But yeah, Venezuela was struck by 2 back-to-back earthquakes. The first one was 7.1, the second one was 7.5. Thousands are feared to be dead. This is incomprehensible. The entire world needs to rally around and support Venezuela right now. Yeah, with Trump being in office, like, he doesn't even want to provide support for the people affected by tornadoes. Okay? What makes you think that he wants to provide support for people of Venezuela, you know? He wouldn't even give a shit. Yeah, I'm a relatively small content creator, yes. Yeah, it looks like it's a fucking war zone.
Y mira cómo se cayeron todas las paredes del frente. Marico, esto fue muy impresionante. Mira esto. Ay, Dios mío, la gente.
And then a man rescues his dogs after the powerful earthquake. Thing is, earthquakes are unpredictable. You don't know when it's going to happen. Yeah. You don't know when it's going to happen. You know? Venezuela has been neglected by corruption for so long. If you look at Haiti, after the earthquake, Haiti didn't really fucking recover whatsoever. No. In fact, Haiti just got worse after the earthquake, and it's still people who've been to Venezuela, who can actually live comfortably in Venezuela. Some of them who were able to live comfortably in Venezuela, when they get to Haiti, they're like, fuck this, I'm out. Haiti is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. Haiti is in shambles. And even to this day, Haiti looks like it's what replaces the rubble is basically more dangerous architecture, like dangerously poorly built architecture and stuff. Basically slums. Basically slums. You know, in dangerous hoods and basically places that are just unsanitary. Like in Haiti, yeah, I'm giving off a history lesson about Haiti. From what I've heard, the Clintons have looted the country. That was one narrative. That was one narrative. The other narrative was that the corrupt leader of Haiti was actually, when money was given to Haiti, the corrupt leader taking it all for himself, and then just fucking. And then when the earthquake happened, it's like the infrastructure was destroyed and they're given no resources to rebuild. It seems as if the resiliency in Haiti was pretty low. And then in 2024, Trump has made this claim that people in Haiti were eating the dogs and the cats and stuff. And then there's like the Haitian diaspora in the United States that like protest against the Clintons, from what I've heard. Yeah. Yeah, Haiti is yeah, I don't want to sound racist, but you know, people in Haiti, when they hear me saying that their country is a shithole, they would agree with that. The diaspora would definitely agree with that, considering a lot of them just like like try to find ways to escape the poor conditions of the country. They would agree with that. But yeah.
Mierda, weón. Qué lo que era, weón.
Stairs are cracked and he's going down the stairs. That looks dangerous. When a historical earthquake like this happens, the world is in shock. Like the walls just fucking fall down. Like holy shit, man. Some people are basically just trapped in those buildings on high levels. If from what I can tell, like there's so much rubble on the fucking stairs. There's so much rubble on the fucking stairs. Oh yeah, water leak, of course. Like, holy shit, man. Northern Venezuela coastal city of La Guaira, following tonight's pair of major earthquakes. Yeah. Like... Looks like a fucking war zone. I remember watching Life After People, and when it comes to collapses of buildings, a lot of these happen because of like earthquakes, and then they get weakened by it. Thousands feared dead in Venezuela earthquakes. Yeah, the Venezuelan people need a lot of help. I don't know how resilient people of Venezuela are compared to Haiti, but you know, some people are more resilient than others, but holy shit, the devastation. Many of the buildings have collapsed completely. Venezuela has had no street view. Very limited street view, by the way. Well, no official Google Street View from what I've heard. Okay, maybe it has some users submitted like Street View, communities submitted Street View, like has no official coverage, but you know, so you're not really going to have a before and after image on a wider scale. To just fully understand the devastation. I mean, like the United States alone, like, and this is before Donald Trump, but like in 2007, like there was a tornado that destroyed the city of Greensburg, Kansas, and even though there were no Street View coverage back then, like to this day, now that it has Google Street View coverage, you can see that the population of Greensburg, Kansas is only half that what it used to be. And you would see a lot of slabs still in the city. Like Greensburg, Kansas, like almost fucking 20 years later, like shit, time flies by. And it hasn't fully recovered yet. And this was long before Trump became president, by the way. And considering that Trump has ceased rescue operations for their own citizens when a tornado happens, they don't even give fucking forewarnings for tornado happenings. They don't fucking do that as much. After laying off the staff of the National Weather Service, so yeah, they're really not going to give a shit about the earthquake that happened in Venezuela. They're not. Let's look at some more stuff. Has Trump mentioned Venezuela? Is he sending aid and searchers? I mean, he basically said he's their president now. Pretty rare earthquake activity tonight. Both of these things happened within 2 hours of each other. One in 1,000 to 2,000, 1,200 years. A double-head earthquake in Venezuela. 2 quakes of similar magnitude at the exact same spot. A totally separate 6.9 quake somewhere else, Japan. Wow, this is like... So this is... We're talking about once in a millennium here. Once in a millennium, had an earthquake in California today, a 5.6 magnitude, a magnitude 6.9 in Japan, magnitude 7.5 and a magnitude 7.2 in Venezuela. But yeah, like this is like, from what I've heard, this is rare. They were like filming a baseball game and then an earthquake just happens while the baseball game is in operation. And then it surprises fans, like, you can see the camera is rattling. They're running into the middle of the field because, they fear that something above them will collapse onto them. Like, that is insane. A baseball game was in operation. Like, that is insane. Copyrighted music. And then, yeah, there was a tsunami alert. It's spelled in Curacao or Caracho. Or what? Wait, what is it called? No, what's the country called? No, how do you? The like the English language is the least fucking phonetic language out there. You know? How do you pronounce? How do you pronounce How do you pronounce this country? How do you pronounce it? Cura Curacao. All right, so it's called Curacao. If anyone wondering, that's what the country is called. That's what the country just north of um just north of Venezuela is called. It's called Curacao. And it's owned by the Netherlands, so that's what it is. Curacao. Or country of Curacao. Yeah. Oh man. And Aruba as well. Staggering 100,000 people are presumed dead. Yeah, this was happening when someone was watching the World Cup.
Mierda.
Mierda, yeah, that means shit in Spanish. Or fuck. Oh yeah, Scotland versus Brazil. The game was in operation then.
45 segundos. Se rompieron las cosas, Amarelli.
Let me... Oh, there's playback speed.
45 segundos.
5 segundos.
Se rompieron las cosas, Amarelli. Mierda.
Like, he mentions that it's the second quake.
Mierda.
And like, he's shocked. He swears because he's shocked. Yeah, my Spanish is still at around A1. I'm even after 2 years, but that's probably because I had a bunch of anxiety and stuff. Like, yeah. Families trapped beneath the rubble and desperate loved ones searching for survivors. The U.S. Geological Survey has warned the disaster could ultimately claim between 10,000 and 100,000 lives. Officials have not yet confirmed the death toll. Yeah. Yeah, just imagine like being stuck in the rubble and having to wait a long time. Like, I remember the Sampoong department store collapse. There was a there was like a person named Pak, and that was in 1995. She was stuck beneath the rubble for weeks, lost a lot of weight. Imagine being stuck inside the rubble and not being rescued. That's some scary shit. Yeah, there's gonna be tsunami warnings. Dust covering large parts of the coast as a result of building collapses. Oh yeah, there's a building collapse. There's a collapsed building right there. It shows a landslide tearing down a hillside in Venezuela after back-to-back earthquakes. It destabilized the terrain itself, and clips circulating now reportedly show the earth and debris sliding loose in the aftermath. Like, fuck. Man. San Joaquin, Carabobo, during the powerful earthquake in Venezuela.
Wait. Why do I have bola de caca? What is that?
Earthquake in real
Mierda, tembló durísimo. Really?
Whoa, 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 whoa! Earthquake, I'm not kidding, I'm not kidding. Mierda, 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 mierda.
Someone was like playing a Minecraft game or Minecraft mod, and this earthquake just fucking happens. So this is Fairly Gap. Hugier. Yeah, it means play. Like shit, man. Roads were reportedly split down the middle following strong earthquakes in Venezuela. Let's see. Soil liquefaction. I was just looking for soil liquefaction in the Venezuela earthquake. People are... There's just some conspiracy posts about mud floods and shit. Yeah, earthquake in Japan. Except Japan has like pretty good infrastructure compared to like Venezuela, you know? Like, I remember being in Japan, you know? Like, even after the earthquake, everything just seems to go off as if it's normal. Almost everything. I mean, the Thunder Dolphin coaster still wasn't open during my duration of the trip. Yeah. Anyone who buys Grand Theft Auto 6 is a fucking idiot. When people defend AI, quote unquote, art because AI ain't fucking hard art. Games are making. Get an age check to unlock games for you. Wow. Roblox. Man. Yeah. Like, America has an oligarchy problem, you know. Elon Musk was the world's first trillionaire for a certain period of time. Like, a lot of people just keep holding their wealth. Like, and they don't want to pay taxes, so they, like, circumvent this by placing their profits elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Alright, seismic magnitude scales. Mm-hmm. Area of damage. Interestingly enough, like, further from the edges of the plate, you know, like, the area of damage and the area of shaking being felt actually becomes larger, and actually, even though they're rare, when they do happen, the countries or the place, whatever, just don't are not adapted to this, so like it's not used to it, so the damage is actually worse there. So this is a major earthquake. Causes damage to most buildings, some partially or completely collapse or receive severe damage. Well-designed structures are likely to receive damage felt across great distances, with major damage mostly limited to 250 kilometers from epicenter. Magnitude 7.0 or greater earthquake will result in a tsunami alert being issued to certain regions. So, average frequency of occurrence is 10 to 20 per year. But it's said that 2 of those earthquakes happening within 2 hours from each other is a 1 in a millennium event. A magnitude 8.0 earthquake happens like around once every year, and a magnitude 9.0 earthquake is like 1 to 3 per century. Mm-hmm. Like, within the Richter scale. Like, weren't there previous iterations of the Wikipedia page that... Let's go back to 2018 with this. Let's see. Nope. Let's go back even further. I don't know if it's the Wikipedia that does this. Approximate magnitude. Alright. So 0.2 is a large hand grenade. Alright. So 7.99 is the Tunguska event. 6.0 is the Little Boy atomic bomb. 8.35 is the Tsar Bomba. 9.15 is the Toba eruption. And 13.0 is the Yucatan Peninsula. So the earthquake in Venezuela has released like probably at least a petajoule or a megaton. And this is from a Wikipedia page in 2016. The same Wikipedia page. Other examples. So 7.5. Oh, these are just oh yeah, and of course, like yottatons and approximate magnitude of the starquake of magnetar SGR 180620, registered on December 27, 2004, 22.88 or 32 on the Richter scale, and that is in the constellation of Sagittarius. But yeah. We haven't even recorded like an earthquake larger than the 9.5. But it's in record history. But it's estimated that when the Shikulab crater happened in the Yucatan Peninsula because an asteroid hit it, it was estimated to be like a 13 on the Richter scale. That was the meteorite that killed the dinosaurs, basically. Basically the same shit. Interestingly enough, like when I graduated from high school, I did a Math 30-2 course, and the project I did, I chose something for logarithms, and it's based on the earthquakes basically, and then I compare the strongest earthquakes to the quake in the star of Sagittarius. Basically. People are calling this the end times prophecy. Of course. Richter scale 7.2 effects. Yeah. Can you walk in magnitude 7 earthquake? On a seismic end. In areas experiencing maximum intensity of upper 6, it is extremely difficult or impossible to walk. People are typically forced to crawl because the shaking is violent enough to knock them down and cause unsecured furniture to topple. However, if you're standing in an open field or at a greater distance from the epicenter where shaking is weaker, you can likely walk. Though it may feel like you're standing on a boat in rough waves or swaying in a train car. So it seems like if you, it basically just seems like if you're caught in that earthquake, you basically just can't fucking walk. Unless you're in an open field, that is. Yet I see people like running to the center of the baseball field, actually, so I mean, it depends on where you are. It's not safe to walk during a magnitude 7 earthquake. A magnitude 8.0 quake is likely to make it very hard, if not impossible, to stand up even in an open field. In a magnitude 9 earthquake, it is generally impossible to walk. The intense shaking often lasts several minutes, being in a creates ground motion comparable to being in a high-speed collision without seatbelts. Like, shit! So if you're caught in a magnitude 9 earthquake, like, holy fuck. You're basically, like, thrusted. You're basically, like, thrusted around. Basically, like, thrown around. Like... And it will cause severe injury if you attempt to stand up. It's like being in a high-speed collision without seatbelts. Requiring individuals to crawl and remain prone to reach shelter. Like, shit, man. What does... I know, like, when I was in, like, the highest magnitude earthquake I've experienced was a magnitude 5, a lower magnitude 5. And it does feel like the ground was shaking. It really does. And it could possibly, it had a bit of a chance to possibly knock me over, you know? Yeah. Even at a magnitude 5 with the one I've experienced, it could knock me over. You know, so imagine being in a magnitude 7 earthquake is scary. But a magnitude 9 is unprecedented. But the fact that a magnitude 7 can cause, like, even, like, landslides and stuff like that, yeah. Physical sensation of being in a magnitude. Magnitude 7 earthquake is like being on a boat or a canoe in rough water. Experiencing severe turbulence on an airplane. A bumpy ride on the back of the seat of the bus, driving over potholes, feeling as if the floor is splitting or dropping beneath you. Like, ever notice that there is actually um, a disorder based on earthquakes? You know, there's a sensation where you feel that your body is feels like you're in an earthquake when in reality you're not. Yeah, it happens with earthquake survivors, which I happen to be one of them because I was in Japan during an earthquake. You know, man. Some describing the floor moving like ocean waves beneath their feet. Jesus, man. Like, yeah. Like, PTSD from earthquakes. I mean, they're definitely gonna get PTSD. I mean, that just feels way too fucking surreal. That feels way too fucking surreal, man. If the ground feels like ocean waves beneath their feet, like, holy shit. And that happened to a lot of people, believe it or not, you know. And if you're in a high building, it's much more scarier. Especially if it's a poorly built one that ain't built to, like, last that earthquake. Like, the US Bank Tower was built to survive the big one. It was a hypothetical scenario that is right now 160 years overdue. The big one. Scientists estimate a 10 to 15% chance of a magnitude 9.0 or higher earthquake in the next 50 years. I mean, I was alive when the Earth experienced one and or two. I don't know. Yeah, and I think that was in Indonesia and Japan. Let's see. Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. That was like that was a very devastating event, and that was 9.2 and 9.3. So within my lifetime, two earthquakes measuring over 9.0 have occurred. Jane, and for you and three. Yeah, I do. Yeah. The big one refers to a hypothetical megathrust earthquake expected along the Cascadia subduction zone. There is this joke that if it were to happen, Alberta would be on the coast, but you know, that would be a joke. But Alberta is very, very, very landlocked. Very landlocked. So even if that happens, like, Alberta is nowhere close to being on the coast. It's like expected to, it would potentially damage over 1,400 buildings in Vancouver alone and trigger tsunami waves up to 20 meters high, affecting the west coast of Vancouver Island. Northern part of the fault near Vancouver Island is likely area for the rupture to begin. The last major Cascadia earthquake occurred in 1700, making this region due for another significant event. So it's relatively overdue. And it's said to devastate the Pacific Northwest. So yeah, San Andreas Fault, the next big one. Yeah, the San Andreas Fault. Like if you were watching like Life After People, they made a scenario that 50 years after People, like an earthquake strikes Los Angeles, the city hall basically collapses, and the top floors of the U.S. Bank Tower collapses. And then like 600 years after People, the US Bank Tower is like so weak that a moderate earthquake just destroys the building. Like, yeah, Life After People. They have like 3 seasons. Originally it was gonna be 2 seasons, but then the third season happened, and they used fucking AI for the third season. It's like, what the fuck, dude? I mean, yeah, it does make it hard on your eyes, the AI. I mean, other than that, it's not like I mean, the season isn't terrible or anything like that. It's just I like the other things they do with it, you know. But yeah, there's also The World Without Us. Oh, that's a book. Oh wait, this has more to do with a Children of Men's situation than Life After People. Or is it The Last of Us? Nier Automata. Okay, I never played Nier Automata or The Last of Us. The Earth After Us. And then there's After Man. Okay, and like Future's Wild. Dude, I'm not gonna tolerate anyone telling me to stop swearing, okay? If you don't want to hear me swear, then just get out of the stream. Okay? No one can fucking police me on what the fuck I can say, okay? Stream is usually meant for those 18 years or older, okay? But yeah. I think I have enough to say for now.